I dropped Ann off at the Las Vegas airport this morning and am now heading northeast into Utah. So I've reached the furthest western point of my trip. Just barely into the drive, I noticed this massive facility to my right, which turned out to be the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. It's huge, located on 1,200 acres. It has multiple tracks and hosts more NASCAR races than you can shake a fist at, plus other races. So we're heading up into Utah, and you actually cut through a very small corner of Arizona when you're doing that. So you go from Nevada through the northwestern corner of Arizona into southeastern Utah. And the scenery in Utah is spectacular. Utah has 5 national parks, 7 national monuments, 43 state parks, 9 million acres of national forest, and 21 peaks above 13,000 feet. I stopped at the St. George, Utah Supercharger, and I was surprised at the size of the town. It had a population of about 180,000 people. I walked across the street to a museum and Utah Welcoming Center while I was there and talked to a very, very friendly volunteer or perhaps employee at the Welcome Center, and he loaded me up on information about Utah with all kinds of brochures, etc., etc. I was quite impressed with St. George. It was settled in 1861 as a cotton town, which earned it the nickname of Dixie. Between 2000 and 2005, it was the fastest growing metropolitan area in the United States. This Mormon church was completed in 1877, And here we have a summer home of Joseph Smith, who was one of the founders of the Mormon religion. The supercharger here was only a 70 kilowatt charger, but I got plenty of charge while I was at the museum. And so back in the car and on my way to the next charger at Ridgefield, Utah. The best tip by far from the visitor center was to go to this Kolob Canyon Park, which actually overlooks Zion Canyon and offers some magnificent views, and you can drive the whole way. There's no hiking involved. Over 20 years ago, I bought this Golden Age passport, which gives you lifetime admission to the national parks. I think I paid a total of $15 for it. And this particular park was $30. So I've gotten my money back many times. It enables an entire car of people to use the national park. The ranger mentioned that this was a collector's item, and she had only seen one or two as old as mine. So off we go on this scenic detour. It's only about a 5 or 6 mile drive, and the scenery is spectacular. So I'll shut up and let you watch the drive up, and then I'll come back when I get to the top. So here's the viewing area, which is spectacular. Over to my left, camera right, you can see all the way down into Zion Canyon. I'm sure it would be a beautiful hike, but I kind of like the way I did it, just driving up. Okay, back on the road again. I stopped at the Beaver, Utah Supercharger. I guess this is probably the largest one I've ever seen. There's 4 on the right side, 20 in the middle, and then there's 4 more at the end for a total of 28 stalls. So I filled up and headed on to Ridgefield, Utah, which was my stopping over point for the day. At the hotel, I met an 82-year-old man who was on a 600-mile motorcycle journey. He was by himself. It's just coincidence. There are 2 motorcycles in front of the hotel. And I asked him how in the world he stayed safe on a trip like that. I mentioned that I would never have taken my trip without a good, solid autopilot. And he said, you just have to drive defensively. You have to assume everybody on the road is going to hit you. Sounds stressful to me. Have you ever noticed these rate schedules that are posted on the back of many hotel rooms? This says that the maximum rate for my room is $799. I actually paid $130. So I'm trying to imagine a set of scenarios that would allow them to charge $800 for the room, and I can't. So I guess this is some government regulation which is designed to protect people, but it's not at all clear to me that it's doing that, and I'm sure there's a government bureaucracy that's in charge of administering it.